Picking the right real estate agent. How, why, who, where? All pretty good questions. Um, so I would discourage anybody from just going with their spouse's friend who happens to have a real estate license. Last I checked, there's around 35,000 real estate agents in Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade County. Literally throw a rock, you're going to hit a licensed real estate agent. Of all those agents, there are, I think, less than 5% that do the vast majority of transactions. So just because somebody has a real estate license does not necessarily mean they are the right person for you. I would suggest going with somebody who is experienced, who knows your target market well, and who is a strong negotiator. Obviously, they're going to be negotiating on your behalf to, secure a deal on that house. And I know for a fact that, a good agent versus a bad agent, may be able to pose a deal in a certain way that could secure that house for you for 10, 15, $20,000 less than the next person. You also want somebody experienced because let's be honest, you're especially in this market right now. Chances are you're negotiating a $500,000 transaction, if not more. And there are a lot of things that can go wrong on a transaction like that. There's all sorts of deadlines. When it comes to a real estate contract, there's all sorts of things that your agent is going to be, you're essentially paying them to be responsible for those things for you and to keep you, up to date on when you need to have your money due, when you need to have your loan approved by, when your closing date is, if you're not going to meet your closing date for whatever reason, they're negotiating a change of that closing date. So there's a lot of moving pieces at play. It's funny. I've dealt with people who don't see a value in working with a real estate agent at all. And they think, oh, well, what do I even need an agent for? I already know the house that I'm going to buy. And who has probably 75 questions about real estate related matters throughout the process. How do I fill this contract out? What does this mean? Can I ask for credits from the seller on inspection? They're directing those questions towards me. And it's always like an interesting learning experience whenever I have somebody who feels that they can represent themselves. And then they have all of these detailed questions about it. I always find it a little interesting, like, well, I thought you didn't need a real estate agent. This is all the stuff that you're paying a real estate agent to do. I thought you knew how to do all this stuff. And the fact of the matter is like, they don't, they just overestimated their abilities and underestimated the work that actually goes in from a real estate professional in a transaction of this size and complexity. So, definitely can recommend some people in this local market: Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade, St. Lucie counties. I work with a ton of great agents in all four of those market areas. And I'm more than happy to recommend to anybody if somebody needs a recommendation for somebody experienced and skillful to work with.